I quit my toxic job as a creative director to launch a purpose-driven business that spreads joy. It's a greeting card company. I think it'll get bigger. Actually, I know that it will get bigger. I have plans to make it bigger than that. But we're starting with greeting cards because I feel like we need to reconnect as a community. I'm in week 3 of working for myself, and I want to give you a little recap of what has happened so far. I also I'm going to answer a few different questions that I think people would probably want to know with someone that is launching a new business. What made me quit my job? I have been living in a constant state of fight or flight for way too long. It always felt like I was stressed out, and it was really interesting because the actual work wasn't challenging. Many other people were kind, and then I was doing work that felt like it was good for the world. So it didn't make sense to me that it was so challenging. But the lived reality of that experience was I'm always on pins and needles, not knowing how a critique will go, not knowing what weird set of drama that I would deal with that day. And I needed desperately to get out of this crushing feeling of feeling unhappy. I'm just freaking unhappy. Yeah, that was my tipping point. It was I had my second panic attack. I don't even be having panic attacks. That's not a normal thing. That had never happened to me before starting this position. But then I'm okay, I've had 2 panic attacks. I gotta get out. And so I'm talking to someone in leadership, somebody I greatly respect. And her response was unexpected because it felt as though she was trying to normalize panic attacks as a part of the process of working. And it's no, I've worked in advertising the majority of my career, and that has not been a part of my process. So you're gaslighting me. And I think that realization, you are not on my side because you're trying to protect the system that is broken instead of trying to fix the system that is broken. I had talked to my direct manager. I had talked to my manager's manager, and people keep saying that things are going to change. They keep saying that things are going to be a different way, and nothing is changing. Nothing is shifting. And I'm okay, if you can't change it, I'm going to the president. Just pure chaos mode. But when you hit a breaking point, of course you're going to hit pure chaos mode because that's what's supposed to happen. I'm having this conversation with the president, and I had prepared notes. I want to be a part of helping you change this toxic culture. Here are some things that I experienced. I want to change this. Can we do this? And her response was so just flat. It was Boop. I'm aware of what you've experienced. Everybody kind of knows this. We're trying to change it, but we can't make change immediately. And it's you can't make change in the next 6 months. You can't make change in the next year. You can't make change in the next 5 years. I don't know. I need to get out of here because I want to do good in the world, but if I can't do good here, I can do good somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I feel that was the shift. I want to do good in the world, and doing good in the world this way makes me feel bad. So I must be out of alignment, and my job is to get back into alignment. That was my tipping point. It sucked. It sucks. Why? We can change work. You realize that, right? We are the adults now. We don't have to do it the way they did it before. The boomers are gone. Most of them. Well, many of the boomers are in charge. But Gen X, millennials, we can change things. You realize that, right? It's our job to create the workplaces that we desire. And we've made some of those shifts already. So it's just why don't we just allow it to be fun? Work can be fun, I've always wanted to open a greeting card business, and it's funny because it is the natural next step for someone like me, right? The beauty of the work that I've been able to do in the world is I use words and pictures to change hearts and minds, right? When I first applied for jobs right out of school, ironically, I applied to Hallmark. And I got 1 or 2 rounds of reviews. The job was going to be in like Kansas City, I think. And I remember being like, oh my God, I live in New Orleans. I don't want to leave New Orleans. That would be very stressful. And so I think I like blocked that opportunity from coming to fruition because it was like I did not want to leave New Orleans yet. But they were like starting some sort of card collection that was going to be focused on either Black people or men, or maybe it was for Black men. I can't remember. And whatever, I didn't get the job. Long story short, I did not get the job. So then I had applied for a job at Fossil. And you know, Fossil has like really beautiful design on everything. Like they use illustration in these really interesting ways. I was like, oh, this would be dope too. I think I got like 1 round of interviews for that, but didn't get that job either. And so I ended up getting into traditional, first web design, then graphic design, and then ultimately art direction professionally. And like, you know, went through that series of work and became the person that I am today. So like I got into advertising specifically because I saw the power of commercials to change the way people think and feel and do, right? One very good example of this, in 2008, I'm working in advertising and there's this beautiful Cheerios commercial that comes out and it has 2 gay men and they have a child in the commercial. And like, at the time, this was actually a groundbreaking moment because they were able to influence culture in this meaningful way. This was like, I think around the time when we were trying to legalize gay marriage. And that commercial to me was like this beautiful reflection of the power of art and commerce and how they can meet in order to create social change. And the normalization is a Cheerios commercial, the most basic. Everybody eats Cheerios. I don't eat Cheerios, but like I like Chex. Yeah, cinnamon Chex is my thing. I like cinnamon everything anyway. But that commercial made me see the power of what you can do with advertising. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I want to be a part of this community. I want to be a part of this world. This was probably 2015, and I'm with my homie Tippy. Tippins, I love you. You are the best. I miss you so much. I'm with Tippy, and we have a co-working space together. And I was like, I want to start making products. And I just randomly made a whole bunch of different products. This was before I even had an iPad. So I'm like drawing stuff and scanning it in. My process is trash. The way that I was illustrating, I wasn't really thinking about the customer yet, but I was making things and selling them. Like I was tabling and making a little bit of money. But the problem was that I couldn't see a way for that to make a lot of money quickly. And so I kind of gave up on that dream and doubled down on like, I am an ad man. I'm a marketing guy. Because it's like you can make money faster in marketing and you can use your brain in a way that I really appreciated. But now it's like, of course I go back. Like who I am at my core is somebody that I want to share my heart with you. I want you to share your heart with me. And if not with me, share it with somebody else. And so like, of course it would be natural that I want to make greeting cards. Ironically, that makes me think about, I remember in the 7th grade, I got Photoshop. And when I got Photoshop, it blew my mind. I was like, pfft, I can do anything. I can create anything. I can literally make anything that I can imagine. All I have to do is move these little pixels around on the screen and I can make an idea happen. I can draw something, I can scan it in, and then I can put it up there. That's crazy. And so I would make comics, I would make flyers. Everybody was like, Justin, you gotta make my campaign poster, bruh. Make my campaign poster for the election. Because it was like, I loved graphic design. I love the power of communication. It's a tool that helps us to be able to change hearts and minds. And that is the power of graphic design, the power of storytelling, and then ultimately the power of art direction. I didn't know what art direction was at the time. And that's what led me into creative direction. But what's interesting is that now it's like creative direction is leading the team that makes the things. And now I'm taking a step back and I'm the artist again. I'm an artist. And like sitting in that artist power, loving on myself in that way, like opening myself up and allowing people to see me fully is scary. It's a transition. Yo, like, it's different on this side to allow yourself to be seen, and then to also, yeah, to see yourself fully the way other people see you. That's hard. You know, I feel like I was made to do this. Like, genuinely, I was made to do this. I feel like this chapter is my chapter of becoming. This is my chapter of being the person that I've always seen myself to be, and really leaning into who I am and what I want to create, and literally sharing myself in ways that I had not done before. That's the beauty of being an artist and an entrepreneur, because a part of me had this false narrative in my mind that if I was an artist, then I would have to be a starving artist. And the beauty of technology is that I can be an artist and I can make money. Like, I genuinely believe that now, and I did not believe that before, you know? That shift is liberating. And I'll be honest, there have been these really weird moments where I feel this pull from my old life. It's like safety, security. There is an ease with knowing that, oh, if I do XYZ, outputs money. And the path that I'm on now is a little more nebulous. The path is scary. The path is confusing. It has not been written what will happen. I am co-collaborating with God to create something interesting. And like, that's scary, because you have to stay in this constant mindset of abundance. You have to believe that things are possible that do not exist. And you have to trust that, yes, I quit my job with $25,000 in a bank account, but I'm not racing to the end of that money being out. I am trusting that I have enough right now, and that I will have enough a month from now, and that I will have enough a year from now. And it's that trust that I feel like is different. That's the part of me that has shifted and grown and changed. I have become the type of person that believes that good can happen to me. And I'm genuinely trusting that God has put me on this path. And that's new. There is also this feeling of like trusting myself and my own capacity, instead of trusting people that have built corporations, especially toxic corporations, right? It's like, why would I put my faith and belief and trust in something that another man built, when I could put my faith and my belief and my trust into something that Justin built? Justin made that. You know what I'm saying? There are definitely some benefits of coming from a creative direction background. I feel like the biggest one is that I can rapidly create. Like, I have the capacity to make a variety of things in a really fast way that sometimes it shocks me, the amount of work that exists on my iPad over the past 5 years. I've made over 1,000 pieces of content, maybe more than that, which is wacky to think about. Me, a normal human being, made thousands of pieces of content. Now I'm going through it, trying to figure out what is good, that works as it is right now today, and what do I need to adapt that started off as okay but needs to be a little bit better. And then it's like, okay, what do I need to create that's new, that will light my heart on fire, that will light my soul on fire, that will help me feel as though I am making something innovative and interesting and cool. The benefit of being a creative director is that I understand what it means to create something. I understand what it means to evaluate something, and then I understand how to make changes to make something better. Because at its core, for me at least, the process of being a creative director was looking at things that my team would make and give them really thoughtful feedback on how to make it 10% better, 15% better, 25% better. And so in many ways, like, there is artist Justin, and artist Justin makes the thing, right? And then there is creative director Justin, and he like evaluates the work and like gives the feedback. And then artist Justin comes back and makes those edits. And then now there's this new business Justin. And business Justin is like, we got to make money, bro. We gonna make some money off this or no? We gonna make some money or no? So yeah, there are benefits to having these different versions of me exist in the world. And I feel like I'm sitting at the perfect moment in my life where I've done the emotional work to heal. And so I have a level of self-worth and self-love that allows me to put myself out there and genuinely step into the reality that I've always wanted. And it's like, I'm not sabotaging nothing right now. If things are going good, let's have them keep going good. If things are going bad, let me go take a nap. Let me go take a walk. Let me go meditate. If it's going bad, process it, alchemize that into something that's good. That's my job. I think the biggest fear is always money, right? Will I have enough runway to be able to last long enough for this business to blow up? I'm starting with $25,000 in a bank account, and I'm trying to build a business that sustains itself. I've got my normal expenses. So it's like, okay, I gotta pay rent, I gotta eat, I wanna do a little bit of traveling, I wanna have fun, but also I wanna launch this thing more than anything else. And so it's like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make it work. The biggest fear is money. The second biggest fear is like, what if I just fully flop, right? What if I think this is gonna work and it's not gonna work? And it's embarrassing. I also feel a part of the work I've done in therapy was like learning to love myself, and also to like get away from black and white thinking. Black and white thinking is only looking at those really intense extremes. It's not like, oh, my business will fail. It's like, my business will fail and I will end up homeless. It's like, no. I trust myself enough to pivot when it's time to pivot. I trust myself to figure things out and be open. When opportunities strike, I know that I'm starting in one place. I'm gonna have to make shifts to other places, and I'm just like kind of leaning in that trust and that belief in myself. Yeah, I think that is the beauty of alchemizing fear, right? It's like you start with the fear. In my case, it was the fear of money and the fear of failure. And you go, okay, let's actually play that out. Let me feel that emotion and let me play it out. But then also let me anchor in on something true for me. What I believe to be true for me is that I am a kind, good person that is trying to do something meaningful in the world. It has to work out. Why wouldn't it work out? Why would God give me this vision? Why would I get this vision that is actually making something beautiful for the world and it not work out? And I go back and forth. I don't always feel that energy 100%. So like, don't get fooled. I will have days where I'm like, oh my God, I spent $55. I'm gonna be broke. I spent $55. I'm gonna be broke and homeless. But then it's like, I'll zoom out, and I'll be like, okay, it's $55, bro. You can make $55. You have to believe that something is possible, like deep inside of your heart. And once you believe it, then it is possible. Does that make sense? Once you believe something, it becomes possible. So honestly, my first week of not working that toxic job, I laugh a lot. I be feeling like I be laughing through the pain. I feel like that is, I be laughing through the pain. Life is a joke. People forget that life is a joke. Or it can be. I feel like you decide how your life will be. Some people are like, oh, my life is a romantic comedy. And then your life is a romantic comedy. Some people decide, my life is a tragedy. And your life is a tragedy. Me, my life is a sitcom. It's like a fun sitcom too, where like really quirky, funny things happen. And like I've got like this really ragtag fun group of friends that pop in and out and help me along on the journey. My life is literally a sitcom. Yeah. So, okay. Week 1. What was week 1 like working for myself, being an artist and an entrepreneur? All I did was cry. I did more than cry. I rested. I cried. I rested. I ate. I cooked healthy food. I took really long meandering walks, and I processed what I experienced. I was devastated by the experience of working at that toxic job, and it was demotivating in a way that stripped me to my core. It took a lot of effort to allow all of that negativity to flow through my body and out. It was really important to me that it did not get stuck, because I don't want my reality to be that of like living in this sadness and this pain and this fear and this anguish. It was like, I've experienced that. I forgive myself for staying as long as I did. And I have enough compassion for myself to say, Justin, it's okay. It's okay. You can move through this because you have been through personal tragedies. You've experienced meaningful challenges. And honestly, it is all working out for your good. I believe that wholeheartedly, and it helped. But yeah, I cried a lot. I laid around the house. And then in week 2, it was like, oh shit, I gotta clean. And this is actually crazy. I feel like I told you, my life is like a comedy. And so somehow I wake up one day and I'm itchy and I'm like, I think I might have fleas. There is no reason why I would have fleas. I don't have a dog. No dogs have been to my house. Literally, people don't even be coming to my house like that. It's like my house is for Justin only. The only way I could have gotten fleas is on one of these long nature walks. It seems highly unlikely. But I am moving from this mindset of like, I really needed to clean my house, and I think I needed a psychological trigger to force me to do that. So I make up in my mind that I have fleas. I fully do everything I know to clean my house. I'm on TikTok looking up all these home remedies. I'm spraying all this stuff. I'm doing all of these things. And in essence, I was just doing a deep clean of my house, which I probably should have just done. It was like, oh, you can just deep clean your house and then you will feel better. But I had this guise of like something else was happening. So I'm like, I gotta do all this stuff right now or else. I am in that energy for like 3 days thinking that I have fleas. Come to find out, I do not have fleas. I never had fleas. It was fully a figment of my imagination. But the process of doing the deep cleaning, it starts to like rework the energy in my space. And it encouraged me to like rearrange my furniture. I wanted to move things around so that it was set up slightly differently and kind of just like a little bit more aesthetic. I'll probably put pictures or something to show you what it looks like. And like, I feel proud, right? Because it's like, when I have enough space to think, when I have enough space to be, I can clean my house and I can arrange my furniture in a way that is beautiful to me. And by doing that, I create a loving, nurturing, and kind space for my creativity. And that was the beauty of week 2 for me. In addition to that, though, I think the other thing that really stood out in my process was like writing about my experience at my toxic workplace. And like, I wrote this article. Yeah, the article is intense. And I went out of my way not to like go into intense detail about any specific experience. I wanted to make it general enough to connect with you and what you've experienced in your workplace, and to kind of lay the grounding and foundation for like who I am and what I have experienced. But there was something magical about writing that piece, because it helped me to take all of that pain and frustration and sorrow and guilt and put it into something that was bigger and more meaningful. Yeah. It's like I wrote my feelings down first in a series of journals. And then I go, okay, I want to write a first draft of this thing. And I wrote the first draft and I was like, this is bad. But then I sent it to my friends, Brittany and Reba. These two women are beautiful examples of what it's like to have good friends. They like read it, they're encouraging, they give me feedback, and like help me to see that by sharing this, I will be able to connect with people in a deeper way. Because I was like, I initially wasn't going to share it. I was just writing it to write it. But then it was like, nah, bruh, I'm about to share this. I'm about to say what I got to say. I'm about to say what I got to say. So I like write this article and I just send it out to my email newsletter. Some people click on it and read it. I post it on Instagram. Some people click on it and read it. I send it to people individually via text message. The thing that's interesting is all of a sudden I'm just getting all these people reaching out, talking about how they work in a toxic workplace, or they're people that worked at the place that I previously worked at, and they're like, oh my God, you had that experience too? I didn't even realize. This sucks. That's exactly what I've been going through. And it's like, I know, it sucks. Life should not be like this. Work should not be like this. We can change work. You know that, right? We can change work. We are the adults now, and we have the capacity, we have the power, we have the ability to create the life that we want to lead. And if you feel like your workplace is not working in the way that you want it to, you can change it, especially if you're in leadership. Yeah. It would be cool too. Like, what if we just change things? Like, what if we just what if we decided collectively, you know what? This ain't working. Let's switch it up. That would be dope. You wanna go in and do that? You wanna work together to change culture for the better? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Yeah, so that was week 2. Week 2 was really about cleaning. It was really about processing. And it was really about allowing myself to transmute those negative emotions into something that was meaningful and beautiful. And the crazy part is that I feel as though I have reconnected with what my goals are and who I want to be in this world. It is beautiful to have a negative experience and then be able to work through that negative experience and find the positivity on the other side. And so I feel like there are 3 things that have occurred for me as opportunities that I am interested in exploring. The first one is I'm doing these Good Morning Sunshine videos. I'm doing them primarily on Instagram. I also send out a weekly newsletter that includes the typed version of that. But spreading this daily positivity is fully in alignment with what I want to be doing in the world. It is a thoughtful reflection on how to be a happier, healthier human. And I think more now than ever, we need to lean into joy. And by leaning into joy, we have the opportunity to be a light. And the world needs light. We've been in fear-based modes for so long, and we need joy. We need hope. We need peace. We need people to smile. We need people to laugh. And so these Good Morning Sunshines are really about that. I want to draw attention to what could be these challenges in our life, but also to remind people that it's okay to smile, it's okay to laugh, it's okay to have fun. You don't even have to heal, just have fun. If you can have fun and focus on having fun, you will be better, you will be happier, you will be healthier. I think the second thing, and that is obviously what probably got you to click on this video, is that I am launching a greeting card business. Making these greeting cards is really fun. It makes me happy to take my illustrations and know that they will help create a connection point between people. That's really exciting to me. It is incredibly exciting to be able to use my specific set of skills to create joy in the world, right? Slowing down our world and helping us to step outside of technology is one of my core ethos. That is something that is meaningfully important to me, but I'm able to do it in this way that is unique and fun and silly. And it's like, you making a greeting card business, bruh? What? And I'm like, yes, I'm making a greeting card business. I'm making a greeting card business. In the year of our dear Lord, 2024. It's ridiculous, but maybe it'll work. And then I think the third thing that is important to me is I really want to teach. I want to teach creative people how to trust themselves, how to lean into their intuition, but I also want to teach practical skills, things that I've learned along the way that support people. And so I'm really going to continue to invest in this idea of the Creative Reset program. And specifically, I want to teach. I'm going to teach. Facilitating conversations between people that help them get outside of their heads and get into doing the work that is most meaningful for them and the world. That is my goal with Creative Reset, and I haven't fully fleshed it out yet, I'll be honest. I'm still thinking through those steps. Feels like it's a little bit more into the future, but those 3 projects are like where I need to land right now. So we've got Good Morning Sunshine, we've got Joy Bombs, and then we've got the Creative Reset. So yeah, thank you for listening to this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. If you want to subscribe, that is cool. If you want to share it with a homie, that would be cool. You can always send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Justin Made That. It is really nice to get DMs from humans because it'd be like, oh dang, I made something that connected with you. Are we friends now? Yeah, at Justin Made That is my personal Instagram. At SoCurious.co is my professional Instagram. And you can shoot me a DM and say hello. That's all I got. Goodbye.